I was thinking
You're on live.
Any accomplishment. That's what I'm going to say instead of small. Any accomplishment.
You're on live.
Oh, it's live.
What's up?
I don't see it saying live. Mine doesn't say live yet. Mine just says off air. Okay, it says live. Okay. So we're good? Okay. This is our first Google Hangout. Okay. So tonight I wanted to have Miss Melissa Bradley tonight. Hey, I wanted to have her on. I want to share with you guys. She is probably my all-time inspiration for leadership. She has completely switched up the game for me. I want to share with you guys why. I want y'all to listen to what she has to say. I have been under a lot of leaders. You know, this company, we just kind of, everybody shares information and tips and tricks and, you know, training. So I have been in a lot of groups, all the way down from Nicole Smith, Sherry Brown, my upline, DeBron Taryn, and I have, and not to say, not to discredit anybody's leadership or anything, I'm seeing things from Melissa's group and from her team and her leadership and her growth that I've never seen before. So I have been sitting back for quite a while thinking, what is this? What's going on with this girl? You know, what is it besides her in her heart? And the fact that she, like me, is not shy about being very prayerful about her business and about it. I have no doubt that the Lord's hand is on her business and it's his blessings. But other than that, first and foremost, but other than that, I just have had the most amazing time watching her lead her team. When I pop in on her team page, it's just fun. And I literally remember one time watching her. Melissa, I was laying in my bed and you were so excited for, I don't even remember what type of accomplishment it was you were shouting out, but you were just so excited and it got me excited and it made me happy that you're so happy for your team. And I want to talk to y'all about I want her to share with y'all. I'm not going to talk to y'all. I want Melissa to come to y'all and tell y'all what makes her different. And what she's doing has actually inspired me to regroup, refocus, and completely try to revamp and go back kind of like to the basics with my team and how I lead them. So please pay attention because there are more promotions coming out of her team, more growth, more camaraderie and closeness. The sisterhood is so strong in her team. I've never seen it in any other team. Like I said, I have been in, and I am in team pages all the way down from Nicole Smith, Sherry Brown, everybody. And I've never seen this before. I've never seen what goes on in her team anywhere else. And I'm going to let her share how she does it. I'm going to let her share what she does that's different. So take it, Melissa.
Hey guys, I'm not really sure what, I love my team. Basically that, I mean, all of it just stems from that. I have so much fun with them and setting goals and seeing them blossom in their confidence. But one thing for me, I hate it, like all time, hate going into a room full of people that know each other and you feel like the odd man out and you feel like people are kind of like sniffing you out and like, who's this new kid and I'm not sure if I'm gonna like her or not, and so they're trying to, you know, like you just feel really awkward in a new situation, and I never ever want to see that happen within my team. So I really want to be able to include everybody from the moment that they first start. That's my goal. And I, you know, as the team grows, I really I struggle at times to be able to keep up. But whenever we have a new girl join, for instance, even if she's not on my team, I will message her, just send her a quick little voice message and just tell her, hey girl, welcome to the team, and just doing anything I can to be able to include people. That's one of them. And I want them to feel like, because one of the best things about Unique is that it causes you to come out of your comfort zone. And I love seeing everybody on the team blossom in their confidence. And so I'll look for ways that they are growing and try to celebrate that in any way that possible. So many people join the team and they just wanted the presenter's kit. And then they get so psyched up whenever they have their first sale. And just So anything, I don't care if you are black status, I don't care if you are white status, I don't care if you just made your first sale. All of those things are such huge accomplishments for each of them as they do it. So I want to be able to be focused on how the individual is progressing in those areas. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
No, absolutely.
Bring your input into what I'm
Okay,
saying.
so no, absolutely, because I'm sitting here, it's really hard not to interject because I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You watching you, that is what really I'm inspired to do. You celebrate every accomplishment, and it has opened my mind and broadened my mind and completely opened it to a new vision where I believe in I mean, from my experience so far, what I see across the board is people focusing on leaders, people focusing on the ones who are at the top and kind of shouting them out and giving them all the accolades. And that is not okay with me. And I want and watching you shout people out for it doesn't matter what it is. My favorite thing that you do is when you shout them out for their bravery or their courageousness or for stepping, you shout them out for every accomplishment. And it doesn't matter if they're selling $5,000 a month or if they're selling if they had, one mascara sale. You're you're like a cheerleader, and I don't see any difference in that. And I realize I'm just as guilty as so many people I see of only shouting out like the people on the leaderboards. And it breaks my heart to think that there's people who may never be there and they're just as important and their accomplishments are equally as amazing. And on your team, you shout out everything. And it just opened my mind to, I need to be doing that as well. Everybody deserves recognition for, it doesn't matter what type of accomplishment it is. They deserve recognition. And it's just inspired me to do that on my team. So I
Yeah.
love watching you celebrate everything.
Well, thanks. It's fun, but
Oh,
like,
I know. You make it fun.
I don't think that like a leadership is necessarily defined by your PRS either.
Mm-mm. No.
Because like you can come out in the batting cage and have $2,000 in PRS, but you're gone the next month. The leader is the person that grows and changes and adapts and grows and changes for a long haul. And so even if you just have, $250 in sales per month, but you're growing your team and you're sponsoring and you're growing personally, like that's a leader. And those are the leaders that you want to develop and to help equip and to grow their audience and their circle, because they just are going to keep getting better and better and better. The other thing is, because I have ongoing conversations through my inbox and through text message and through Voxer, so I know that that girl that just sold that mascara, she's been talking with this client for 5 weeks and going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And they finally bought the mascara and they're so in love with it. That deserves a shout out. And so those are the conversations, and that's how you kind of know what needs to be shouted out. Because yes, you can go and sell a collection like bada bing and somebody's just, hey, I want a collection. Yay. But the work and effort that went into that mascara and then the follow up and then that's huge to me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think that's what we were talking about earlier when we were brainstorming, is that I don't ever want anybody to think that I learned something on the cruise, and that is another thing, and it's that black status is no different than white status, and I want everybody to feel equal. We are all on the same path. Some people have just been on it a little bit longer, and I believe everybody deserves that recognition, and you do that. You give that to them no matter what it is, and that I believe is the true difference. Your heart behind it, your passion and your excitement, just being that encouragement to them. And I just believe in my heart that so many people, if they don't have that support, like if there's not that heart, that family, that unity in the team, that whenever they come up against the first bump or two, or first frustration, or first whatever, where they start getting frustrated with whatever it is, and it could be different things for different people, they might want to hit the road. But if they have developed friendships and they feel appreciated and they feel like, that what they're doing is noticed, for God's sakes, we know how it is at work. Nobody notices us. The boss doesn't come around unless you've done something wrong. We know that. So I just think it's so neat that regardless, I have literally heard some of your girls say they just love being there just because of the friendships and the relationships, and that to me means a
Oh,
lot.
that's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, my my son started running in here. I completely lost my train of thought. So
Oh,
say again what you were just saying because I lost my train of thought. I was about to say something. Oh yeah,
no.
I remember. Give me 1 second. He's still yelling.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, I'm good. All right. Um, I said this the other day. I just did a video chat the other day on Facebook, but I was having such mommy guilt. I felt like I was the worst mom in the world because just so busy, just constantly busy. And they had those questions that you were supposed to ask your children. And you saw that probably pop up. But it was like, what's your favorite thing to do with your mom? And what's your what's the best thing that your mom does and what's she really good at and those different things. And I was going to ask them and post it, and but I was really scared of what my kids' answers would be because I felt like such a failure as a mom, and that failure had really driven the way that it had driven my outlook and the way that I handled my parenting. It had driven so much of me because I felt like a failure. I felt like I was messing up. I felt like I wasn't good enough, etc. But when I started asking my children those questions, and my daughter said, "Oh my gosh, Mommy, you're the best cook ever. Mommy, I love sitting down and watching cartoons with you. Mommy, I love your snuggles," and all those different things that I felt like I was just, in the pits over. I felt like I was just failing them on all levels. And because Satan's a jerk and he makes you feel like you're defeated. But just hearing her and my son tell me that I was not a failure had really given me so much, like, I've got this. I don't suck as a mom. I've got this. And I feel like it's the same way as,
Hmm.
with Unique. So much because the girls on my team, I know that me especially, you don't see your potential. Like others can see it in you. But there have been so many times that you, Rachel, have like messaged me and you were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe yada yada yada, and these numbers are amazing, or whatever you're doing here is amazing." And I'm like, "What? This has been the worst day ever. Are you kidding me?" And there have been so many girls on my team that excuse me. One, for instance, I'm going to call her out. I'm not going to say her name, but she just started a month ago and she's already pink status, and her sales are, she's top leaderboard, and she doesn't even see her potential. Like most of the girls, they don't even see their potential. They just start out the bat and they're already white status. And so whenever you're able to say that to them and you're able to breathe truth into them and help them to see what you see in them, it makes such a huge difference and helps them, because whenever you're running your business out of that guilt, out of that feeling of failure, you're going to fail. But whenever you see yourself as the powerhouse that my team is, like, that just really strengthens them, even if it's just for that day, and you have to go back the next day and just tell them these are the amazing areas that you're doing. And that's the same thing that you want to do with your children too, but that's another story, because all of us, we see our failures before we see our strengths. And so it's awesome being able to point that out in my team, because I want to be able to see their confidence just bloom as they're developing as their unique presenter
Yeah.
statusness.
Well, I was thinking a while back. We all know, and I learned the hard way that we cannot handhold, encourage. We can't, and I've heard all the leaders everywhere say it, we cannot motivate
I
somebody
know.
enough. You have to be self motivated. You have to want it yourself. I've learned we cannot want something for somebody more than they want it themselves. But it is different than what you're doing, and I just want everybody to understand, when you're listening to this, I want you to understand that what I'm talking about that's happening inside of her team is not your average way to go white status. Woohoo. It's not what you see across the board.
Mm-mm.
It is over the top in the best way possible. It is the recognition that every woman deserves, that even I have let slip by. And I know what it means to be shouted out. We all know what it feels like to get a pat on the back, even though that's not necessarily why we're doing what we're doing, obviously, but we know what it feels like. And like she said, especially when you desperately need it. These girls could be about to quit, but I believe in my heart that um if they are thinking about quitting, if they've got these deep rooted friendships and encouragement happening all the time, not just for the people on the leaderboards, that they're going to stick around. And I've heard Whitney husband say it before, just because they're not ready now or not equipped now does not mean they're not always going to be that way. It could happen for them in the future. But there was a statistic not long ago, because I'm really big on getting the recognition to these women that they deserve. You've just taken it to a whole different level. But I read a statistic, and it said for every one little bit of recognition, you will get in return 100 minutes of service. And that is a, I don't know how many people were, but that was just huge to me, because you know what it does. It just boosts them up and it makes them feel amazing. And every woman deserves to feel that, especially in there, when they feel like they just conquered a mountain, because like you said, they've been, trying to sell a mascara for 6 weeks or to the same woman, whatever it is. But I just want people to understand that, there is, this may not sound like anything, like you're probably sitting here thinking, but everybody does shout outs. No, I'm talking, this is different. Melissa shouts them out for everything. When you go into her team, there is some type of like award she's given, like the bravery award, or stepping out of your comfort zone, or I saw this great graphic. Look at this graphic. She could have just snagged a graphic, but she didn't. She made her own. Or this girl did the most amazing video. Did y'all see this video? She shouts them out for everything, and what it does is it lets them know that they're being noticed and that their hard work is being noticed. Because some people can work and do $5,000 worth of sales, and then you have Mary Jane over here who's putting in the same or more amount of time, and they're not getting the sales, and they're not doing the sponsoring, but they deserve the recognition just as much. And that's where it's different. And I'm telling you, almost not quite 2 years, I've never seen this before. I've never seen so many promotions. I've never seen people move up so fast, even within my own personally sponsored. I have never seen such closeness, such involvement. It's just something completely different. And I believe it stems back to you being like their biggest cheerleader for everything, And I know that's got to be what it is. And people deserve the recognition, and it's got to be real, it's got to be genuine. But I love watching you. I told Taryn about you, my sponsor, for so long, and I don't just guess she don't never check in on it. And then eventually, it was months ago, she was like, I know what you mean. Oh my gosh, it is so fun watching Melissa. And I'm like, is it not the thing to watch her with her girls? It's just very exhilarating to watch what is happening on your team. So I just had to, I just feel like that needs to be across the board. Our teams need to be led greatly. And if anything, they need to hear they're appreciated, and that what their hard work, whether it's accomplishing what they want or not, that their hard work is appreciated.
And as far as, showing graphics or videos that they did, it's so hard learning how to, do selfies and how to do things, sharing and not selling stuff. So whenever you spot it, just like snapping a picture of it and be able to share it because your team member did that, and that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But it also gives everybody else an idea of directions that they can head with their graphics and stuff. So it's really cool, because it usually starts a whole ripple effect of everybody's having like this huge brainstorm of, oh, I can do that, and I can do that, and I can do that, and some amazing graphics start flying off the handle whenever you're recognizing people's videos and people's graphics and stuff. And so it's really cool. It's a wonderful way to shout somebody out, but it's also an awesome way to recognize.
Absolutely.
And train. So what else?
Unless you have anything else you want to add to this, then I think you've done great. And I just want people to understand that I have been completely inspired. I am sharing the way you lead with like everybody who will listen, and you have, and talking about ripple effect, it has gone across the company. I have talked to, I took it to the leaders in our, in our upline. I have had so many people contact me and say, I tried, I've already started this, and they're doing this, and they're shouting out their teams, and you've started a huge web. I just would love to see it go across the entire company, because there's so many people I know that are not leading in this fashion. and it's genuine, but I just want you to know I'm so proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud to have you on my team.
Hey,
I love you so much, and I'm so blessed, and you inspire me every day. You really do.
thanks. The other thing is the PRS clubs is a lot of fun in our group, and Taryn does that. But all the leaders, all the sponsors get so stoked to be able to go through that and add to that each month, each day. But it's always, going crazy with that.
That's true.
But, it's fun. So I think that's it. Look for opportunities. Look for ways, like what areas do your girls excel in is the biggest thing, because every single one of them is completely different. Every single girl on your team is completely different. So Susie Joe over here is amazing at graphics, but she's amazing with wording. And so whenever you shout out their strengths, but whenever you teach them to be friends and help them to learn from each other, it's really cool being able to see her excel in graphics and wording because they paired up as pacing partners and just friends.
Absolutely. Because one person's strengths is I've definitely learned that everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. That's for sure.
Yeah. But those are the other things.
You
rock, Rach. Thanks, girl.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you hopping on tonight, and I'll talk to you, I'm sure, later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.